of the Rome Parks and Recreation Committee for Monday, August 18th, 2025. Could I have roll call starting to the left?
Evenson here.
Reese here.
Krieger here,
Donegan here.
Reppin here.
and Sue Boltman is on vacation today. So certify the posting of the meeting, item 3.
I certify that on Tuesday, August 12th, 2025, the agenda for the Town of Rome Parks and Recreation Committee meeting for Monday, August 18th, 2025 was posted at the following locations: Rome Town Hall, 1:36 p.m., Quick Trip LLC, 1:52 p.m., Nakusa Port Edwards State Bank, 1:41 p.m., and emailed to the Wisconsin Rapids Tribune at 2 p.m.
Thank you. Item number 4 is approving the agenda. Could I have a motion to approve it?
Motion.
I'll second that.
Thank you. All in favor? Aye.
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 Motion approved. If we could have item 5, Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 6 is citizen comments. Do we have any comments?
There were none received.
Okay, thank you. All right, no action is contemplated on that next item except possible referrals to a future agenda. Number 7 is informational updates, meeting recaps, recent correspondence, current events, or announcements. Do we have any? No?
I have none.
I have none?
I have none.
All right. Oh, yes, Cody.
I'll be talking about this on Thursday at the board meeting, but the road projects for Longbow Court and Apache are going to be starting on the 25th next week.
All right,
Nice.
thank you.
And so is Linka Lakes.
It's got another
Oh.
week yet?
Excellent, so.
I
so-
was wondering,
yeah.
I figured today they wouldn't start because of the
Yeah.
weather, but now, okay.
Right, so when is it going to be starting?
Same day, the 25th.
The 25th, excellent.
Thank you.
All right, and item number 8, discussion only, review of the 2025 Parks and Recreation budget. So it's all in your packet. I want to turn to that. And Robbie provided this to us, and she is on vacation, but I was able to touch base with her. And if we could just go down to the last major category, parks outlay, non-Syracuse. This is our operating budget for the committee. It's $76,516.13. And it's, that is what it is currently as of today. And there's no expected expenditures out of there that have been committed.
Excellent. Did we get any bids at all yet on?
That's, yeah, that's what I.
It's coming up.
Yeah.
Good.
So there we go. But yeah, this was interesting, and I think that probably to help us in our planning, we should probably get an update each meeting of where the budget stands, so we know what's committed. Yes?
Sorry.
That's
to interrupt
okay.
again. So the Visit Rome 20.
I don't want to cut you off, but if you're gonna speak so everybody else can hear you,
Yes.
you're impossible to be heard if it's
All
back there. Thank you.
So the $25,000 annual commitment from Visit Rome
Yes.
will be dispersed. We're expecting our Q2 lodging tax on the 28th.
All right.
So that $25,000 will be dispersed to the town shortly after that.
And that's just.
To
for
add to
that-
your
yeah,
budget.
And that's just for Rome Town Center. That dollar amounts have to be earmarked for the Rome Town
Correct.
Center.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. Okay, well, that's
Thanks.
good. Thank
Yep.
you. Appreciate that clarification. So that would be something we could use for the driveway enhancements?
Right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
last year's too, because that didn't get used yet, so we got plenty.
Okay, good.
So I do have a question. If we don't use some of the funding, does that roll over to next year then? It does. Okay, I just want to make sure. Because I've been on other committees where that doesn't happen.
This does.
Okay. Okay.
All right, do we have any questions that we can forward to Robbie? Or is this pretty self-explanatory?
Would you say the total expenditure was?
That was, our operating budget, 76,516.13 plus an additional 25 dedicated to the Rome Town Center.
It's the line almost to the bottom.
Yeah, the
Not
second,
quite, but
yep.
almost to the line.
Oh, okay, I'm looking in the wrong place.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, well, good.
Awesome.
All right, so if we have no other questions, we can move on to the next item. Discuss and possible action on the following items. Number 9, approval of the July 14th, 2025 meeting minutes. Do I
Move
have-
to approve.
All right.
I'll second.
All right. Vote to approve. Any objections? Okay, so be it that it's approved. Item number 10, discussion and possible action, appointment of Parks and Recreation Committee member to the Rome Town Center Subcommittee. And I did get a notification from Sue. She asked that she be considered for this position. Is there anyone else that,
I would.
okay? So I guess we would just take,
Yeah, so what they would like is to have one board member, which I believe Tim, right?
No,
Oh,
Well,
Vito.
Vito was on it, yeah.
Okay,
yeah,
and so, and then, we need one person from this committee, so.
yeah.
okay. All right, so could I have a motion to nominate Mark?
Is there,
Mike,
I don't,
Mike?
Sorry,
Mike?
we don't have, Sue here. Did she leave any kind of reasoning as to why
She just had that interest to
she had that
do it.
interest? And if you're interested in working on the Rome Town Center Subcommittee?
yes.
Okay.
All right,
But we can only choose one?
Don't have to choose one.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah. All right, well,
That's why I was wondering if anybody's.
I know,
got
I'd
anything
like to
fun
kind of
say.
talk to Sue just to see
Yeah.
why, what.
But we need to have it decided though today.
Oh, okay,
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it has to move forward fast here,
okay.
so.
okay,
We can do Sue.
It doesn't matter to
It
me.
does-
yeah.
Do you have any questions for Mike?
No.
What, I guess, quick question is, what would be some of the responsibilities of the committee member for the Rome Town Center? Is it providing guidance for all aspects of it, or land usage, or?
Yeah, I think it's just the usage of what we have planned for the town center through the
Okay.
Parks and Rec.
All right. And Member, this committee would just give that perspective?
Yeah.
All right.
They had the committee before, and they came up with that nice plan for downtown there. But then with the changeover and things happened, the committee went down to only like 2-3 people. So, we just kind of redid it, we kind of expanding it a little bit, having a couple board member, we would like a business owner in as well and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
they just asked for a couple extra people on board so there can be a little more diverse group.
Yep.
Do you have any input then as far as who we should be choosing? I mean, I guess the main point is that as long as you're bringing information back to us so that we know what's going on,
Yeah,
Right.
Yep.
yeah.
I guess.
Okay. All right, so how should we proceed?
You would just need a motion of who you want to nominate and then a second. And then I will let Wendy know.
Okay. All right, does anyone want to
Well,
make a motion?
absent Sue, then I guess I'd like to move forward with Mike's nomination.
I'll second that.
Okay.
All right. Any objections? All right. Mike, congratulations. Okay. All right,
Feel like I'm in Congress.
I know.
Yeah, where's the gavel?
Yeah, right.
You don't get one.
Take away all the fun.
All right, so item number 11, discussion and possible action, Status and possible recommendation of driveway estimates for band shell area of RTC for bands and food trucks. So Cody, if you get some information?
All right, so I put some feelers out to some of our local contractors that do this type of work. I've only had one respond on paper so far, but I've been in contact with the other two. They're all pretty busy right now, getting their last minute stuff in for the year for sure. One of the quotes I did receive was from Hoffman Excavating, and it would be for a 12-foot wide driveway on both ends, widening the one approach, which would be the entryway to the food park area, and then widening to a 90 by 22, 23 foot gravelled area, and then past that would be another 12-foot driveway leading out.
Okay.
So, I don't know if you want me to wait to get some numbers back from the other two before I broadcast what we have.
I think that probably would be
Keep it
smart.
competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah, do we have, are you getting time frames from them as well?
I will say that they are pushing for spring
Okay,
because most of them are kind of busy right now. The possibility of getting it done this year is still possible though.
okay, thank you.
Who are the
the-
other people that you reached out to?
It would be Red Run and DCM.
Okay.
And the other thing that we have to look at too is the sprinkler system will have to be rerouted.
Okay.
So we get a number for that. And we also have to get a hold of Econ and see what the electric's gonna be.
That's what I was gonna.
Because we're
yeah.
gonna come back, we were kinda inspecting how it's gonna come out of there. And we only have a 30 amp breaker that runs out to that pedestal where we wanna put it. So we'll actually have to pull a new line from the building to run a service out there.
Okay.
That's what I kind of thought, but
All right, so that, the upgrade of electrical should accommodate the food truck area then?
Eventually, yes.
Is that, when were you gonna talk to Econ, or have you already sent out?
I haven't reached out to Econ yet.
Okay.
I had a meeting with, whoever does their sprinklers, I can't remember their name right now. And they're gonna come out and we're gonna try to locate where they actually are and where the lines actually run. And we don't know if they're dead ends or if they're looped. So we're gonna try to locate that. So if we can just back them up a little bit versus cutting a whole loop out and trying to
Yeah, okay.
it'd be a lot cheaper if it's that way. And then, yeah, the electric will be, that's gonna be the questionable one.
Did they do the original electrical?
They did the majority of the hardwiring portion of it.
Okay.
So the stuff from the box, I believe.
Okay. Lisa, you had mentioned a couple meetings ago, was there any electrical issue that had been brought up? Anybody recall it, with blowing
No,
circuit
it was, I think it was just cords.
cords?
Right.
Was that
It
it?
was just the
Okay,
cords, right?
all right,
Right.
okay.
A tripping hazard more than anything?
More than,
It was
okay,
just, yeah, one of the concerts, we had to run cords to the band shell.
all right.
But since then, so we've had 3 vendors hook up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Mark was like, well, just try it and see what happens. Sorry, I'm not at the podium. And nothing has happened this year, so.
Good.
All right, that's, yeah.
So based on my measurements, when I did the layout for it, I put flags out there and had the contractors come out and look at it. I'm estimating able to get about 4 trucks end to end out there
Excellent,
with their serving side towards the band shelter.
good.
That's nice.
how many amp service do you predict?
Say what?
How many amp service do you think we'll need?
I'm not an electrician, I have no idea.
Okay.
They've been running off of 30 amps so far. If you did 4 30 amp services, I would assume that would be all right.
Okay.
Good.
Could we possibly have some more of that information, have reached out to Econ before the next meeting?
Absolutely.
Awesome, thank you.
Would Econ engineer that all up?
I have no idea.
I'm sure they will have recommendations for what's needed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just need to mention one other thing. So, you said 4 trucks?
Yes.
So that's what we have right now, our 3 food trucks and the beverage truck.
And we're kind of to the point of thinking, do we need another or another food truck? Because the last two concerts, I think I mentioned, we had 700 people. And those food trucks a couple of them probably sold out. So we've been teetering, at some point, we probably need to add another one.
Is it possible is it wide enough to maybe make them double? And just the section that we have, that we're gonna gravel, would it be wide enough to, if you had to, put two, across from each other, all the way down, up to 8?
I don't know.
Run the
Cody, would that
electric in the
work?
middle. Run the electric in the middle and put one truck on each side.
I guess I just want to think about future, in case this keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And I don't know if this is the point to mention this either, but our board just approved 2 more concerts for next year. So we would do a series of 6,
So it's nice.
unless anyone has objections. But, I mean, the people are really, I think, enjoying the concerts there.
Well, we built it, we should use it.
Yeah. And we need to book the bands now for next summer. It's.
Yeah.
If we're gonna expand on the electric to make be able to serve more, we're gonna have to make the pad bigger.
Okay, so it wouldn't, right now, the way you got it measured, okay, all right.
It would have about a 10-foot path for the truck or trailer to park on,
Okay,
and then you'll have about 12 foot of serving
okay,
out in front of it on gravel.
all right.
If we're gonna go back to back or opposed to make a corridor of food, we have to expand. So then the other thing you gotta look at is that depending on what your plans are for the park area over there, how far are we gonna encroach into the other stuff that we're planning?
Okay.
So,
We
If you-
could
if
all,
you-
oh,
go ahead.
sorry. I was gonna say, we could always make sure we have a mix of, because some of the food vendors do run off of a generator. So we can always consciously have a mix of, make sure a couple of them are on a generator and the rest would be hooked up.
They could always park in the grass area too if you got to that point.
Right.
well, and you could always park on the driveway, the approach that's coming to it, to the actual pad, you just won't be
Right.
parked on gravel.
Right, all right, so that's.
Yeah,
we-
I think.
I think we could.
So maybe we can manage for a couple of years, and if at some point we need to expand,
Yeah,
we'll look into.
yeah.
My suggestion would be, put the electric service out there now for the expansion. We don't have to utilize it today. But to go back and try and redo that will cost a significant amount of money.
Or see if maybe the Econ or whoever would recommend maybe larger PEDs that if 2 could run off of it, or,
Yeah, just build in the expansion or the ability to expand ahead of time. Our construction costs will be lower today than tomorrow.
Yes, but the placement is gonna be the issue, because if you can only put so many trucks near a electrical pedestal.
Yeah.
I mean, that pedestal may be able to handle 4 trucks, but if you can only park 2 of them next to it, then.
Right. My intention was to make it so it can be expanded, but
Okay.
like I said, if depending on how you want this layout to go, you may have to make it bigger.
Okay.
So,
I'm just thinking the main feeder line out there, from having to go from, let's say, a 4-gauge or a 6-gauge to a 4-gauge supply.
So we just need to make sure when we talk to Econ that there may be future
Just mention that we want to
additions, yeah.
possibly expand, so they
Yeah.
know that, so, okay, cool, yep.
Cody?
Yeah, thank you. All right, so we'll keep this on the agenda for next
Next time.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, discussion and possible action, finalize recommendations for RTC additions for 2025, such as possible shade structures, games, and other features. Just thought that in addition we need to know, we'll need to know what the costs are before we can move ahead in these other things. But we had taken that little informal poll last time, and it appeared as if in addition to these main items, that shade structures were probably one of the next things we'd need to look at.
Sure, Cody
game
recommended
And game, yeah.
the seating with the,
Like a bleacher.
yeah, what it was, a cantilever top over it, which I thought was a really great idea.
Is there,
That would cut down on the cost of any additional, yeah.
and but that can be stored away somewhere too in the winter type of thing, right? Or you just leave it there?
It'd be left there.
Yeah.
But it could be moved, which is a plus.
The bleachers,
Yeah.
they could be moved. The structure would be staying there though, the cantilever type deal.
Kind of like in high school, how they were able to just collapse it all up and it's one big wall. Something similar to that, is that what you're thinking? Okay.
Was there anything like that in that packet? You're the last one to look at that.
No, I
The
did
packet
not
of
see
stuff.
anything like that.
The only complaints I can see is when someone's driving past, they won't be able to see through because there'll be bleachers in the way.
But it'd take up a small area, one way or the other, right? How big of bleachers are we talking about?
Would we want to locate it on the west side, the south side?
West.
West,
West side.
Okay.
for the shade.
Shade, yeah.
Well,
We could look into some costs on something like that. If we have some money left over, maybe that's something that if we all think that's, in the last official town center park master plan, they had on there what they called shade sales at $20,000 a piece, which are really cool looking. But again, it's not something we would install this year, but maybe that, I don't know.
That's a lot,
Yeah,
that's a lot of green.
yeah. I mean, they're big.
Well, the bleachers
they have to be-
are
Yeah.
gonna be just as expensive,
Yeah.
if not more.
Yeah, but I
Yeah, and
see
they- and
it
they are not
providing
pretty.
more-
no.
Well, I'm just gonna say that there's gonna be objections because they're ugly. They are, they're ugly.
Yeah,
Picnic tables and shade structures maybe would be
Yeah.
more
Okay.
user-friendly, more acceptable to this
It's
public.
the aesthetic,
Yeah,
it's,
right.
so,
The shades,
There's just a really good vibe out there, and they're not pretty.
right,
No.
so, just one of those freestanding sails or something
Yeah.
like that with some tables underneath it would be lovely if people would enjoy that.
I think maybe going with something that you don't have to put away in the wintertime. Just simply because of our storage problems that we have here in the town.
with the shade structures, the
Only the
foundation is,
Stays there,
Yeah,
only the
stays there.
canvas that they are, like they do at the splash pad right now. They
Okay.
put that away.
Yeah, they put that away, yeah.
okay. Well,
What about some bike racks? I mean, that's easy. I looked into I think they're like $350 for commercial grade bike racks. I mean, that's something we can put at a couple places along the RTC area there.
And the dog
And the dog,
signs
yeah, I mean, those are
should
things
be
we can,
done.
yeah,
I don't think that's real expensive.
yeah, I don't think
either.
that's expensive. We can get
To
those
look into
going.
right away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
are you talking about like the disposal?
Waste
Yeah.
stations.
Yeah.
waste
I think
A
that,
sign with the little bags attached and.
yeah, I think,
A little garbage can nearby.
yeah.
Those are things I think we can go ahead and get going with. I mean, it's,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll agree on that.
So we just,
How many do you think you'd want?
for the dog
I
stations,
think sure, one on each side of the Rome Town Center.
Maybe 3.
Yeah.
the gazebo area, band shell area?
Yeah, there's nothing by the gazebo.
Right.
How about 4 of them?
One by the gazebo, one by the splash pad, maybe 2 by Banjo?
Yes.
Yeah,
Too
one
bad
on
man
each side
shell,
of the band shell and one on each side of the.
Yeah,
the
one
splash
on each
pad.
side of the,
Yeah.
The splash pad, I mean, technically,
Just that
Well,
area, just
yeah,
that area. I'm
maybe.
just talking
Yeah.
as you're walking.
right, as you're walking.
Yeah, one side, one end or the other.
Okay.
A minimum of 4, maximum of 6.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that works.
And are you talking the end of the band shell, not like next to the band shell?
No,
I'm
but
thinking maybe what would be like like on a walking path.
On the walking.
Yeah, and the walk.
As you enter.
People do the big loop
Yeah.
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 in the
As you enter and exit the walking path, maybe.
On the west side and the east side.
Yeah.
Yeah, but back further along the walking path.
why don't we get them little doggy outhouses?
Only if they get a bubble bath in it.
A couple bike racks, one on each side.
yeah.
Yeah,
What's,
definitely.
are you talking, how big are ones?
Well, the ones I was looking at, they hold 10 bikes, so they're kind of big. So, I mean,
Maybe 6
maybe,
each. That gives them 8.
yeah,
Do we want to build our own?
no. No, these.
Oh, I was looking at Cody when I
Cody looked at
said
you
that.
like, no. No.
Okay.
So what would be the process? We would get costs on these?
Yeah, get a cost,
All right.
and then bring it forward to us, and then we approve it, then it goes on to the board then. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Well,
Can we work on that? Who does that? Taylor does that, or who get?
For what?
For
Getting the quotes?
Quotes, yeah.
One of us
Never
could
done.
I
could
can-
volunteer. or-
I can do the doggy stations if you'd like me to.
Sure.
I'll get those and bring those for the next meeting.
and,
I can do the bike racks. I already looked on Amazon. They're already $350.
Right?
But they're made for.
You just gotta have a way to anchor them. Do you anchor them somehow?
No, these are pretty well stationary.
They just-
They're pretty
they
heavy.
just stay.
Yeah.
I think they're
Okay.
stationary.
Yeah.
Right,
now with the
I
shades,
don't think it's the old school stuff you guys remember with the big concrete
Yeah.
posts.
right?
Yeah,
All right,
no.
that's,
I think that's
I am
gone.
old school.
But I can get a.
Thinking the same thing too.
I can look into it and give it to Taylor, and she can forward it. Yeah.
Okay.
If you can forward pictures so we have something to
Yep.
look at.
Yep,
Yep.
and then I can put it in the next packet too.
Okay.
And those dog stations, were they in that,
they were in that book.
they were in a book? Okay,
The
I'll grab those
catalogs.
books from you.
I got them at home.
Never
I got
returned.
here and I go, oh, I forgot that.
I'll have to
I mean,
just
it's
go on
heavy.
the old Amazon then and buy some.
Now with the shade structures.
I'll run by tomorrow and drop them off
All
at
right,
your
you
place.
can do that.
We already have some there. Would we want to have something similar so they kind of coordinate with one another?
You
I
could.
think it would look nice to have something similar to
Yeah.
what's already there.
Do we have that information of,
I think it's in your packets in those books,
okay, all right,
those,
okay.
shades.
For the doggy stations?
Nope, for the
No, for the
shade
sales.
The
structure.
sales.
Oh,
the
okay.
shades.
For what they ordered when they
Yeah.
ordered them
That's your job.
before.
We can get them similar to that. Yeah.
Hey, Taylor, for when they put that other one up back when, is there a way for us to find out
Do you know
where
what
they
ye-
got it from?
You know what year that was?
Well,
Splash pad, I have no idea.
I can try to find out. I'm sure Wendy will know. Wendy
Yeah,
knows
Wendy will
everything.
probably remember that.
Yep. I'll talk to
That'd be
Wendy.
helpful.
Thank you.
here's an idea. There is a fabricator in Wisconsin Rapids that does boat awnings and things.
Yeah,
And they have,
state upholstery.
I wonder if just simply putting telephone poles in the ground with big eye loops and we can just hook them right up to there.
Well, telephone poles might be a little ugly.
Okay,
You could do metal posts maybe of some
Sure.
sort, but
Chances are it's not going to save any money.
probably not.
okay. But I don't know if they could custom make some for us at a reasonable price.
They, I don't know about reasonable, but they could definitely. Well, we work with them all the time, and they are excellent at what they do. But the fabric you choose has got to be a fabric that is going to hold up. And so
Right.
they're not gonna sell you something cheap.
Yeah.
So, I could go to Fleet Farm and buy a tarp if that's what,
Yeah.
but, we don't wanna do that.
No. And they know the quality of the,
Yep, yep.
All right, well then, we'll bring this back around for discussion next meeting on the next agenda, but we'll get some prices together and then we'd put a recommendation together for purchase and yeah,
Okay,
all right.
sounds good.
Good.
Sounds good.
Okay, item 13, discussion and possible action, next step for disc golf and walking trails project at Chester School Forest. So just to recap, we entered into a memorandum of agreement with Nacusa School District School Board for use of the Chester School Forest for hiking trails and a future disc golf course. And a year or two ago, we did have the property staked out. It's 40 acres, and it's kind of rough right now. There's a lot of downed trees and all. We did have a subcommittee, and there's some information from that subcommittee. They did write a RFP for it. We did not get any quotations back. But what we need to do is, I think, probably resurrect a subcommittee of some sort to review what was done in the past and maybe go a different direction, or take the good of what was done, just to get this back on track. So I believe that probably would be the first step, to resurrect the subcommittee. And an important part of it is that with the 40 acres, the hiking pass also, I think that's important, and maybe Draft would want to have a representative on that committee
And there
also.
is definitely grants for this type of thing out there as well,
Yes,
so.
yes. Yeah. So I think we just need to have a framework of what we would want it to include. And,
I had one question on the information in the packet had a disc golf discussion with Randy
yeah,
Shukar.
yes,
Yeah. So where did that go? Because it sounds like he designs these and he's very reasonably priced. So why didn't we get a quote from him?
I know, right? The discussion went into a little different direction, where they wanted to have it to be a course that could attract tournaments.
And he doesn't do that? Or he didn't recommend it?
I think it was a
or-
lot more money, probably.
Yeah.
If you're gonna go tournament-wise,
Yeah,
because you gotta have parking, and all that kind of stuff. Which is a whole lot of extra expense, and so
he seemed like he'd be a person that would be very helpful and able to do this. He's done some other ones in the past. I don't know if he's still in the area, but yes, I would say it'd probably be good to reach back out to him.
I will just note too, I don't know if technically that subcommittee exists any longer because were you on the subcommittee as
I
well?
was not.
I say, I
Sue
think you're the
was.
only
I was.
one left
Yeah,
that
so-
was on that.
Right, and
So,
We had a lot of citizen members to that.
okay.
Yeah. I think Sue was the only one then on, or were,
Melissa.
Oh,
was on.
Melissa, okay.
Yeah, yep.
I would say, I know Bob Barrowhite, Melissa, and Brad were too.
Yeah. So
So in order to bring that subcommittee back, I believe you'd have to go to town board to have them okay bringing back the subcommittee.
all right.
I think we need to consider a timeline too. It's fine to get together a subcommittee to plan forward motion, but if it's gonna hang in limbo because we're busy with other projects, I mean, I think I would love to get this project done, but we can't overextend ourselves.
Yeah.
is it possible just to reach out to this gentleman to see if he's still
Yeah, I can do that.
in the same business, still still in the area, something that he would still consider working before? 'Cause otherwise, you gotta start in a different direction and find somebody else and start over completely.
Maybe we can get him to come and talk to
Yeah.
us, just to,
And if he's not in the business, maybe he's got some recommendations for other designers.
He's out of Stevens Point.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
Okay, well, if you'd like, I could try to reach out to him and see if he's, would be willing to maybe come to our next meeting or the one after that.
sure.
And
That'd be great.
just see if he's,
He can maybe give us some insight about it
Yeah.
We
more.
could always just have him zoom in if he wanted to, too. If
All right.
That would be easier instead of him having
Yeah.
to drive down
yeah.
here. I'm sure we can work that out. Taylor, I'm sure, could help us with that. Thank you.
All right. I think my thoughts are is that we just need to get a framework that we could then write some grant proposals to get some funding. And, it's probably not gonna, maybe 2026/27, but at least move it forward.
Get it designed and planned next year and built on 27.
That's
If that's
kind of,
possible.
yeah.
As far as your subcommittee, we need to go to the board. How many people are you thinking? Are you want to reach out to citizens again? Do you want to just keep it? How do you want to
yeah.
try? We should put something together to get it on the agenda.
Sure.
I don't know if I can still because the agenda's already out for
Sure.
Thursday,
Yeah,
but there's always the 2 weeks,
yeah.
so.
That's fine. We
I
could-
don't think we need to be in a
No.
big hurry for this one.
Okay, all righty.
We can put something together, some names together or something.
Yeah, so then bring it next time for our meeting and then go to the board after that. Okay,
Good.
cool.
Okay. All right. So. And then, item 14, discussion and possible action. The Highway 13 sign for the dog park. I reached out to my contact at the Department of Transportation, who's on vacation, but I will get to him. My question for him is, was the application for the sign ever submitted to the DOT? Because my understanding was that it was just waiting for installation, but maybe I have to go backwards.
So would you have submitted that application? Because somebody would have
Brad-
had to submit the application.
Brad Martinson, yeah.
And we have an application, but I don't believe it was ever submitted. I don't think Brad knew that he was supposed to submit it.
Oh.
Because it's technically, like, for a business, it's no different, like, it's just a wayfinding directional sign.
Correct.
And it's through the county.
Right.
So,
Okay.
like, it did get approved at Plan Commission and at Town Board for the wording and to have it placed there, but to actually have the sign put there, the DOT has to do it. And I know there was conversation with your contact about that it might have to go in a different location. Did you read that part?
I've read all of it.
Yeah.
So during this period of, when this was all approved, it was my transition period into this position.
Okay.
And Brad's leaving.
Yeah,
So that's, I'm guessing, where it's got lost, obviously.
sure,
So I knew nothing all about this until we started talking about it,
okay,
so.
all right.
Is all the information there, though? All you need to do is submit it?
Well, I'm not sure who's supposed to submit this, actually.
Okay.
When you say who,
'Cause
Well-
who would
Wouldn't
be
it-
paying for it, I
Where
guess?
are the
It would
funds
be-
coming for this one?
all right, well, it's like 350 or
It's $250 per sign.
250 per sign, so $500 would be out of our budget, I believe.
Yeah, you just have to get it approved by the town board, which I thought it was before.
Yeah,
Yep.
Unless we wanted to ask the friends of the volunteer group.
So it doesn't actually
Dog
state
park.
where the funds are coming from out of
Okay.
from when it was approved.
We looked back all the way through the minutes to April of last year.
okay,
And nobody had ever specifically said, hey, I'm gonna pay. Or where it should
So-
come from.
okay.
I don't think we ever asked the dog park group,
Okay.
but I don't know, do we just want to okay it with the park funds? Or do we want to reach out to them and see if they want to donate some money for that?
We can pay it with park funds, and they can send money to us afterwards.
I
Or-
personally have no objection to using the park funds. It's a park
Right.
in town, and it's,
And it needs to be up there. It does need to be
Yeah.
there, so that.
so
yeah.
I think it would be a fair use of our funding.
Okay.
I make a motion that we take the funds for the dog park sign for Highway 13 out of our Parks and Recreation budget.
All right,
I'll second that.
okay. Any objections? All right, motion approved. So,
Now we have to go to the board,
okay,
next step again, right? Yeah.
That'd be the next step to approve the
The funds.
funds.
So the sign was approved at the board, but the funds were not, okay,
okay.
The wording for the sign.
yeah.
It was room to roam, dog park, okay.
So then, once we approve, the board approves it, then the application can go in then?
Yes.
Okay,
I guess that would be up to you guys on who plans on applying for it then. Would that be, I guess, I don't know, as the chair of the committee, if you would, or if you would direct Cody to, but, so it doesn't get lost in transit
right,
this time.
right. Yeah, it doesn't matter either way, Cody.
Does not matter to me either way either.
He's got all the paperwork in front of
Yeah,
him.
why don't you submit it then? If you're okay with that, that would be great.
So then we'll wait till after it'll be the September 4th agenda that it'll go on to for the next town board meeting.
Right.
Okay.
And then, just to recap, the county then would install
It'll
it?
either be the county or it'll be, state.
Okay, all right,
It's a state road, it's,
Highway.
yeah, all right,
so.
sounds good, thank you.
Thank you.
mhm.
It's a state road taken care of by the county.
But still needs state road approval.
For location and everything.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm assuming the county, or the state pays the county to do it.
You're correct.
Okay, so the dates and items for future agenda meetings. Next agenda items, it looks like there's several items that we're carrying forward, including the driveway estimates and electrical estimates for the RTC band and food trucks. Item 12, the additions for 2025 for the RTC, such as shade structures, bike racks, dog stations.
Yep.
Item 13, the disc golf and walking trails project. And I'll reach out and see if I can get a hold of Randy Zucker, who is one of the designers in the area. And then the dog park sign. Any other items for the agenda next month? Oh, okay. So the proposed meeting for next month would be September 15th, 2025. Is that any objections to that? Okay, great. So, that being said, meeting's adjourned at 5:42.